Hello, and thank you for tuning into this week's Mayor's Update. As always, we have a lot of exciting and interesting information to share with you here, so please feel free to share this video with your friends, family, relatives, and anyone else you think may find this information helpful over the course of the upcoming week. The first thing we're going to be talking about today is the fact that City Hall has reopened for the public. After about 6 months of us being closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have unlocked our doors. Our offices are fully operating just as they have been over the course of the past 6 months, but now you can come visit us in person. I want to let you all know that if you do want to minimize the amount of time that you are in the building, we will still allow you to make an appointment to come see us, in which case you can come visit, go in through the door, go to the office for a specific time, you will be seen for your appointment, and then you can leave. However, an appointment is not required. You can still come in on a walk-in basis as well. All of our offices are outfitted with plexiglass structures. We ask that you follow all masking and social distancing guidelines when you come into the building. And we do have a receptionist in the rotunda here who will be taking all contact tracing information as well. One of the things we also want to point out is due to the upcoming state and federal election and the new processes that come along with that election, such as early and mail-in voting, we've had to have a couple of our election workers come in to help us through the preparation process and the sorting process as the ballots start to come in. So as such, there is one section of the first floor hallway that is roped off because they are stationed in at tables in the hallway there to do that work. So until the election time, that area of the hallway will be roped off. However, all of our offices are still accessible to any member of the public who wishes to come and see us. If you have any questions, please see the city's website, www.gardner-ma.gov. The factory over on Rock Street has begun its demolition process. Crews are out over there right now remediating the property of any items that were either in the building or any potential pollutants in the area. We expect this to last about 2 weeks before the demolition crew fully comes in to tear down that structure. When I was first hired as an intern for Mayor Hawk back in 2013, that was one of the first places that I was taken to on a tour of the city as places we'd like to see redeveloped or at least a safety hazard taken down. So I'm very excited to see that something that we talked about in my first year as an intern in this office is now coming down during my first year as a mayor in this office. I want to thank Director Beauregard, Assistant Director Jeff LeGros, and everyone else in our Department of Community Development and Planning for getting this project up off the ground so that we can help care for the residents of that area and see what we can do with that property sometime in the future. The paving process has begun for our South Gardner roadway infrastructure upgrades. Milling has started on High Street and Lovewell Street. After that's done, we'll go through and install some new sidewalks in the area as well, and then pave those streets. Once that process is done, we'll continue down on Whitney Street and Sawyer Street for the South Gardner project. I also do want to point out that Clark Street and Acadia Road are also still scheduled to be paved sometime this year. There is a small section of Lovewell Street that will not be paved during this calendar year, but will be paved next year, and that's the section from the intersection at High Street and the intersection at Metcalf, just on the other side of Holy Spirit Chapel. The reason why this section is not being touched this year is because Unitil will be coming in to put in a new gas line in that area sometime in the early spring, and there is a state statute that says once we pave a road, a utility company cannot come in and tear it up to put a utility line in except in the case of an emergency. So Unitil has paid the city to not pave that section of the road until next year once that project is done. So that will be on next year's paving list. However, all of the areas around it that we mentioned before are still scheduled to be paved at some point this year. I also do want to mention that what the pavement you see in the downtown area, while there is paint on it, is not the final coat of pavement. We will go back and put the final coat of pavement on that sometime in the spring. The painted lines are there just so people have a reference over the course of the winter time until the final coat is done. Director Saunders from the Department of Public Health here in City Hall will be doing a special show called Health in the Chair City this coming week through Gardner Educational Television about flu season and what to expect in the upcoming flu season. Now, while this is a show that we do periodically through Gardner Educational Television, the reason why we're pointing it out, especially in the Mayor's Update this week, is because There's a lot of questions on how do I go into flu season with the COVID-19 pandemic going on? What are some precautions I need to take? How can I tell the difference in the symptoms and so on? So please be sure to tune in to Lauren Saunders' TV show for that episode there to keep yourself informed and to stay healthy over the course of the coming season. Early voting will be beginning this coming Saturday at Gardner City Hall. Voting will take place in Mayor Perry Memorial Auditorium that is in the rear of City Hall off of Connor Street. You can access early voting areas by parking in the Knowlton Street parking lot, which is the municipal parking lot on the corner of Knowlton and Connors, and enter the auditorium. We will be open on Saturdays and Sundays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., Mondays through Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. This begins this coming Saturday and will go continuously up through the Saturday before the November 3rd election. So we will have 2 weekends and 2 weeks where people can come and vote early if you'd like to vote ahead of time rather than going to the polls on November 3rd, or if you have chosen not to go with the mail-in voting opportunities. If you have already mailed in your ballot, your vote counts and you do not need to come and vote. A couple people have asked, well, how do I know the difference if I mailed in a ballot versus if I came in person to vote? That information and a video on how this process actually works can be found on the city clerk's page of the City of Gardner website. Again, that is www.gardner-ma.gov. Our police department is in the middle of selling pink patches on patches, shirts, and stickers. You can see above my shoulder in the frame is one of the patches that they're selling here. All of the proceeds from this fundraiser are donated to a local Gardner cancer patient to help with the medical bills that they're currently dealing with. So if you're interested in purchasing either a t-shirt with that logo on it, a sticker decal, or a patch, you can stop by the police station at 200 Main Street to go to the dispatch window and they'll be able to provide you those at that time. The different prices can be found on the police department's website or on the police department's Facebook page as well. This is similar to what we do in April with Autism Awareness Month, where all of the money that gets collected as a result of this fundraiser goes to a local Gardner resident to help them with their financial struggles at this time. The next few things we have to talk about are school related. I've been asked a couple times in our videos to mark when the school stuff is talked about, just to give those who don't have children in the school system an idea of where we're going for the rest of the update. So the rest of the stuff we're talking about here today is school related. And the first thing to say about that is we finally have a date for our groundbreaking for our new school building to house our elementary school. This will take place on Wednesday, November 11th at 1 p.m. with a rain date of November 12th at 3 p.m. The reason why this is happening on November 11th is because most of the observances for Veterans Day are over by noon, and most people have that day off from work. So members of the public and our teachers and students will actually be able to go and attend, because this school building is for our teachers and our students as much as it is for those of us in the community who aren't in the schools every day. So we want to make sure we are able to include everyone as possible. Later information on this will be able to be found on the city's Facebook page and our website, or if you have any questions, please feel free to contact my office and we can help get you information on that. We expect the groundbreaking part to happen at the small field that is in between Catherine Street and the driveway of Gardner Middle School. The school food box program and school lunch program will be continuing here in the Chair City. Our school breakfast and lunch programs have been quite successful over the course of the summer. For students who are in need, who can come to our schools, pick up breakfast and lunch for free and be able to go home. We want to make sure our students have an adequate, healthy, and nutritious diet over the course of the pandemic when we aren't able to provide that in our school buildings, and this will continue up through the end of next June. We've received funding from the federal government to continue this program here. I do want to point out that when our students are in our school buildings, we will continue to provide lunch and breakfast as we always have from the start. However, this program is to help our students who are in their remote portions of their week who are at home and may not have access to food like they do when we are in our school buildings. Our produce box program, whilst has been the topic of some discussions lately, will still continue as well. My office, along with the superintendent's office, the Gardner CAC, and Haywood Hospital are working on a way to continue that program once we get our students back in the building, and we'll have more information on that for you available next week. But I do want to assure the public that that is something that is going to continue for the near future as well. This past week, our school committee voted to officially set the date of October 26th for our students to go into hybrid learning for the school year. Students will be broken up into two separate cohorts, Group A and Group B. Group A will be in the school buildings on Mondays and Tuesdays, Group B on Thursdays and Fridays, and when your cohort is not in the building, you are remote learning. On Wednesdays, all students will be remote learning, and our teachers can use that time for collaboration amongst each other, to prepare their videos for remote learning, and so on from there. The school district's website, gardnerk12.org, will have more information on this when it becomes available, but I want to make the announcement to you all that the school committee did officially set the date for in-person learning in a hybrid model to October 26th. This is the last day of Hispanic Heritage Month nationwide. This was something that was started nationally by President Reagan back in 1987 to recognize from September 15th to October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month. And as the city's first Hispanic mayor, and recognizing that the majority of our minority students in the school district has been growing lately from Hispanic-speaking countries, I just wanted to wish all of our students, residents, and families who come from Hispanic backgrounds and Latino backgrounds a happy end to Hispanic Heritage Month. And I look forward to seeing how we can continue to work together after the pandemic to expand how we can commemorate that in the city next year. The last thing we're going to close with today is a question from me to you all. And I've been in office for just about 100 days now, and these updates seem to be very popular from we look at the number of views on YouTube and on the city's website, on our social media pages. And I want to know what you think about them. Is there anything you'd like to see in them? Is there something different you'd like to see with them? Let us know. These updates are to keep you informed about what we're doing here in City Hall on your behalf. And the purpose of them is to make sure you know what's going on. So if you could please send a message to my executive aide, Colin Smith, at csmith@gardner-ma.gov, or call us at 978-630-1490. Let us know how these are going, and if there's anything different you'd like to see, if you enjoy seeing them, if you think they're too much. We're open to any ideas, suggestions, and criticisms you have possible, because again, our job is to keep you informed, and that's the purpose of these here. On top of that, please subscribe to our city's YouTube page. There's a big red button next to where it says City of Gardner there, so please subscribe to that, as well as follow our Facebook page, our Instagram, and keep track on our city's website, where you can also subscribe so that when something gets posted on the website, it gets emailed to you directly. With all of that said, thank you for tuning in to this week's update. I look forward to speaking with you all soon, and until we speak again next week, I hope you have a great day and enjoy the beginning of the fall weather that we're experiencing here. Thank you very much, and have a good day.